Hi, everybody. I'm Brittany Lewis, a breaking news reporter here at Forbes. Joining me now is New Jersey State Senator John Bramnick. Senator, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Over the past few weeks, there have been thousands of reports of mysterious drones in New Jersey and other northeastern states. You have since called for a limited state of emergency as there are more questions and concerns surrounding the drones. So to first start off the conversation, what do you know about the drones?
Very little. Actually, my questions continue after the limited reduction, or should I say ban, by the FAA of certain areas in New Jersey. We started off with some sightings. Then there were total denials out of the White House. Then they said, oh, maybe they're drones. And then they started to have closed meetings with, I assume, classified information, which I didn't understand because they said there was nothing going on, and then they were having classified briefings. Then we went from classified briefings to a shutdown of certain airspace over New Jersey. So I'm more confused than I ever was with this recent shutdown of airspace.
So, do you think that recent shutdown of airspace in New Jersey, parts of New York, do you think that's enough? Do you think this is going to solve that problem?
Well, what would solve the problem is if government was transparent, because now you have confusion. When you have confusion, you either have fear or conspiracy theories. So now no one knows what to think. If there's nothing unusual going on, why are you shutting down the airspace? Also, why are you sending drone detection systems to New York or New Jersey? I thought we had the Air Force, the Department of Defense monitoring everything in the sky. So I'll tell you, you got me. I've gone to some briefings through the state police. They didn't know anything. The only thing that gives me a little comfort is Congress people come out, or senators come out of meetings in Washington, and they go from skeptics to there's nothing to worry about. So whatever it is, they're getting information to tell the public it's okay, but then they say they want more information. You got me.
So if they're saying there's nothing to worry about, President Joe Biden says there's nothing nefarious, why not be more transparent? Because if you're in New Jersey, if you're in parts of New York, if you're in other states and you see drones circling your home in the middle of the night, I mean, people do have the right to be concerned here.
Oh, they're concerned, all right. And they get more concerned when the answers change from you're not seeing what you're seeing to we're shutting down the airspace. I have to tell you, I couldn't be more confused with the answers coming out of Washington. They need to fully explain why they're shutting down the airspace. That would be a good start.
What about, I know you have questions with federal government. What about state government? What do you think Governor Murphy should be doing? Do you think he's doing a good job on this?
Well, Governor Murphy is stuck with the answers from the federal government. We don't have a New Jersey Air Force. We don't have any detection systems. We don't have radar. He's reacting, I assume, to the briefings he's getting, and he's saying, everyone calm down, meaning that he must know that there's no real threat. That still doesn't answer the questions of average citizens. And I don't really point the finger at him because Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, said she wanted more information as well. This is a federal situation. This is the Biden White House or this Defense Department. Hard to blame governors unless they've got radar at their state police facilities.
President-elect Trump says that he believes our government, the military, and the president do know more than they're letting on. And he said this, quote, something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people. Why do you think that they're saying, hey, essentially, hey, there's nothing dangerous here, but why do you think they're not more forthcoming with information here?
Well, there's the question. Obviously, during these classified briefings, there must be something that's being told to elected representatives in Washington. if there was nothing for them to be told, you wouldn't have classified briefings. So there's something going on. We just don't know what it is. As I said, I think the best thing for us to do is keep pressure on the Defense Department and say, hey, look, the answers we're getting aren't sufficient. I would expect my representatives in Washington to do the same thing, to demand transparency here. Now, if the secret is so secret that the public couldn't take the truth, you know, the old movie, You Can't Take the Truth, well, then say, listen, we really can't disclose it, but it's under control and it's good for America. That wouldn't be bad.
I want to, if you could, parse through part of this statement. It's a joint statement from the DHS, FBI, FAA, and DOD. They released this on the drones. This is what it says in part. Quote, "We have not identified anything anomalous and do not assess the activity to date to present a national security or public safety risk over the civilian airspace in New Jersey or other states in the Northeast." What do you make of this statement? They're saying they don't see anything dangerous. Does that give you comfort as a lawmaker in New Jersey?
It gives me some comfort. I'd prefer if the statement was, there is no risk at all, period. You know, you don't have to carve out the statement. And then if there's no risk, why are you shutting down the airspace? So I think the next question I'd like to hear answered is, well, there's no risk, there's nothing going on, blah, 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 blah. And here's why we're shutting down the airspace.
When there's limited information, that creates a vacuum, especially on social media, especially on the internet. There's been theories running rampant, anything from, hey, is this an alien, to something more nefarious, like this could be a foreign adversary. So who do you think is putting these drones up in the sky?
I'm guessing it's a combination. We know that private sector businesses use drones. We know that public just people use drones. And I'm guess there's got to be some drones related to the government. I assume the government sends up certain drones, but none of that answers the question. Like, as I said, I'm not with the Defense Department, so how would I know?
I had the opportunity yesterday to speak to a New Jersey mayor, Michael Mellem, and his theory about the drones was that they were the government and they were looking for something. What do you think of that? Yeah, I know.
What do I think of that? I think I've heard all kinds of theories. People call me with all kinds of theories. I'm not one to speculate. My job as a state senator is to find out as much information, legitimate information from legitimate sources, so I can report back to the citizens. I don't have that. If I had to put out a statement now to all the people, 200,000 people I represent, I would say all of us have been insured by both the governor and by Congress people and United States Senator Kim that there's no threat. I can tell you that. I can't tell you why they shut down the airspace, and my job would is to get you more answers as to why there's any security proceedings going on if everything's fine. So that's what I would say to 200,000 people. I mean, I don't think that the congressman, the senator, and the governor, that they're lying to us, but the federal government's not providing enough information to make people secure.
President-elect Donald Trump did say he's not going to New Jersey this weekend because of the drones. What do you think about that? And do you think that that's stoking concerns in your state?
Of course. You've got half the people in New Jersey, not half, but a little less than half, who voted for him. He said, I'm not coming there, and the government knows more than they're saying. That's not helpful in terms of giving security to people, because if the White House is saying everything is transparent and President-elect Trump saying it's not, that creates more distrust in government. We've got enough distrust in government.
What do you think people should do then if they see a drone?
First, what should people do? I said, don't look up. It's like somebody on a trapeze, right? Walking a trapeze, don't look down, right? What should they do if they feel as if it's an unusual sighting? We learned early on after 9/11, if you see something, say something. Obviously, you call the FBI, you call your local police department, and if you can take a photograph, that's always helpful, because when you take the photograph, experts can determine what it is and whether it's something that's uncommon. So they should report it.
And Senator, I know you have more questions than answers based on this conversation, but what is that top question that you want answered immediately?
Why are you shutting down the airspace? If everything's okay and there's no threat and this is just drones and you don't have to worry about it, we got a lot of drones in the sky, why are you closing airspace?
Well, Senator, I'm in New Jersey right now, so I hope that question gets answered soon. And once it does, I hope you come back on and join me again. Senator Bramnick, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.